Bridge Chickens. This is part one of starting your relief tile project, your last project of the school year. Everybody's going to make, at minimum, 4 4-inch by 4-inch tiles. To start today, I'm going to just talk about sketching out ideas and planning. That's why I'm working with paper before we start with clay. So measure 4 inches across and 8 inches across, 4 inches and 8 inches across. Draw a line down the middle, line down the side, and then measure over again 4 inches, 8 inches, and draw those lines. And bam, 1, 2, 3, 4 4-inch by 4-inch squares. Easy peasy measuring. Use your scissors and cut this out. Click, 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 click. And you will have yourself 4 little squares that become your tiles. So 4 is the magic number today and for this project, but it's extra credit if you feel like going above and beyond if you want to do 6. But today I'm mostly going to talk about 4 tile compositions. With tiles, we're going to work with multiples, and so there's a couple of approaches you can do with this project. One is you could create multiple of the same image over and over, or you can use the tiles to combine together to create one larger composition. So one composition could be this. I call it sort of the portrait, or like the 4 tiles put together. Another composition could be this, the landscape, where you put all 4 of your tiles in a long line, a landscape. Or you could do the vertical composition. Kind of see where we're at here with this vertical composition. One nice thing about this blocky composition is you could do like one bigger image or symbol or logo or whatever. For the long landscape, it could be an actual landscape, or it could even be text or words or saying or names. And then for the vertical composition, this would be a fun one if you wanted to do, again, like text that kind of runs down the bottom, or numbers. I was saying you could do like your address in numbers, like 3935. It's up to you what you want to do. So I'm just gonna kind of show you a couple of options. Get yourself a picture of something that you want to do for your tiles. I decided I would do an image of the Hotel Del, and so I looked online for a good image of it where I could really see kind of like that beautiful cone shape. This is the image when I printed it at 100%. It's a decent size, but for this 4 tiles, it's a little too small. So what you can do is when you go to print, go to scale and change the scale and try doubling it. So this is 200%. And I got a much bigger picture to work with, which is nice. So here's an issue. When you go to like line your tiles up on your image, keep in mind that these tiles are going to come apart and have sort of like these lines or cracks in between each one. So you don't want to have the most interesting parts of the composition in the cracks. Does that make sense? It's like, oh. So what you're going to want to do is do a little offset. Try offsetting the image. And what that looks like is this. So maybe I get most of the dell in these 3 tiles, and then my upper right tile is empty, but I might do something interesting in there, like put some sun or write some text. But I'm kind of like, okay, this is a good composition to start this design with. Easy way to do this 4-part composition: take your image, put it on a window, put your 4 drawings, your 4 drawn tiles on top of it, and then just move the papers around until you find the composition you like. See how if I put the cross right across the most interesting part of the design, it's not that exciting to look at. It's going to be harder to see. Moving it around makes it more interesting. Okay, so say you don't want to do the square composition, you could play around with the landscape composition. So for this one, let's see how I had it. I actually taped these tiles all together, like in a line, so they would be nice and tight. And then I used my pencil and I drew a horizon line because I want to do, you know, some clouds and fun things up in the sky. So over here I've got the shores and the Hotel Del, and I looked at some Google images of that. I did a little wave I like to draw here, and then over here I looked at images of Point Loma and drew Point Loma. Probably gonna do some stuff in the middle. It's a landscape, make it beautiful. For the vertical one, I was gonna show you this design. It's like my little surfboard. It's longboard design. And I taped them together to kind of start, and I did looked at some pictures online of longboards and surfboards until I found the shape I liked. I sketched it in pencil. I drew on this fin, which I'm actually gonna make 3-dimensionally, but I drew this on for now just to kind of show like that's gonna go there. And I looked up a picture of a little seagull. You could print one out and trace it. You don't have to be a great drawer, but as long as you can trace, then you can do this project. It's really easy peasy. And then I did some text in here just to kind of show you an idea. So your task is going to be to kind of start to come up with some ideas and some planning. So get a piece of paper, cut out some squares, print out some pictures, and come up with some ideas for projects for our last little bits. Okay, loves? See you soon.